My name is Amara Okafor. I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria. Before you judge me, before you dismiss this as superstition, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt tired in a way sleep could not fix? Have you ever walked into your own home and felt pressure? Have you ever noticed sudden fear, sudden anger, sudden heaviness in your chest with no clear cause? I used to help create that heaviness. And that is the truth that still shakes me. 15 years ago, in a crowded part of Lagos where the streets never truly sleep and generators hum through the night, I believed I had found power. Not religion, power. It started harmlessly, or at least that is what I told myself. A woman older than me, elegant, calm, respected, invited me into what she called ancient knowledge. She spoke about energy, ancestral forces, spiritual alignment. She said some people suffer not because of fate, but because they are spiritually weak. I was 23, ambitious, angry at the world, tired of feeling overlooked. Power sounded like medicine. The first gatherings were small, dim rooms, bowls of water, whispered chants in languages I did not fully understand, symbols drawn in chalk, candles lit at precise times. They told me we were not harming anyone. We are simply directing energy, she would say. And at first, it felt real. When someone who insulted me suddenly avoided eye contact days after a ritual, I believed I had influenced it. When money appeared unexpectedly after another ritual, I believed I had mastered something hidden. But power that feeds the ego rarely feeds the soul. The first physical sign was subtle: fatigue. Not the kind you feel after a long day, the kind that makes your bones heavy. Then headaches began. Pressure behind my eyes like someone pushing from inside my skull. Doctors found nothing serious. Stress, they said. But I knew my body. This was different. Then came the nights. I would wake up at exactly 3:07 a.m. every night, heart racing, room cold. Sometimes I felt like something was standing at the foot of my bed. Not visible, but present. I told myself it was imagination, until the dream started. In the dreams, shadows hovered near me. They did not attack, they observed. I would wake with scratches on my arms, light but real. Still, I continued. Why? Because the more I practiced, the more people came to me. Women seeking protection from jealous relatives. Men seeking success. Young girls asking how to attract love. I performed rituals for them. Each ritual required focus, invocation, permission. That word, permission, was everything. In spiritual work, nothing forces entry without agreement. Agreement can be spoken or implied. Repeated rituals are agreements. Repeated declarations are agreements. Fear is agreement. Attention is agreement. What I did not realize was this: every time I opened a door for someone else, I opened it wider in my own life. The heaviness in my apartment grew. Friends stopped visiting. They said the place felt uncomfortable. Plants died quickly. I became irritable, suspicious, isolated. And then my body began to decline. Joint pain, digestive problems, brain fog so thick I struggled to finish sentences. Medical tests remained inconclusive. One evening, while preparing a ritual, I felt something inside me resist. A whisper, not audible, but clear. Stop. I ignored it. The ritual that night felt different. The air thick, my chest tight. The candle flame moved violently, though no wind touched it. When it ended, I collapsed. Not dramatically, just weak. For the first time, I was afraid of what I was involved in. Fear changes perspective quickly. Over the next weeks, the nightmares intensified. In one dream, I saw myself surrounded by shadows connected to my body by thin cords of smoke. When I tried to move, the cords tightened. I woke up gasping, and in that moment, I understood something terrifying. I was not in control. I had thought I was directing forces, but influence flows both ways. When you invite something repeatedly, it becomes familiar with you. Familiarity creates attachment. Attachment creates access. Access creates influence. Influence affects mood, health, clarity. I decided to stop. I removed symbols from my walls, threw away ritual objects, deleted contacts connected to the practice. That night was the worst night of my life. Pressure on my chest, unable to move, a presence in the room. I whispered, barely audible, "Leave." Nothing changed. Desperation makes you search for truth. I remembered my grandmother, a quiet Christian woman who prayed softly every morning before sunrise. She once told me, "Power without God always costs more than it gives." I had laughed at her back then. That night, I didn't laugh. I said the only thing I remembered from childhood: "God, help me." The atmosphere shifted, not dramatically, but noticeably. The pressure eased slightly. The next morning, exhausted but determined, I began researching spiritual revocation. Not rituals, authority. There is a difference. Rituals invite, authority commands. That was the turning point. I began speaking out loud, not chanting, declaring. The first declaration was shaky. I revoke every agreement I have made with any force not aligned with God. My chest tightened. I repeated it. I cancel access. I cancel attachment. You have no right to my body, my mind, or my home. The room felt heavy. I kept repeating it daily. For the first few days, nightmares increased. Attachments resist eviction, but resistance does not equal power. Consistency breaks influence. After 1 week, something changed. The 3:07 a.m. awakening stopped. After 2 weeks, the migraines reduced. After 1 month, the fatigue lifted gradually, like fog burning off under sunlight. I added cleansing prayer. God, cleanse every part of me, remove residue of darkness, restore my health. And protection prayer. No force may enter my life without your permission. These were not magic words. They were boundaries. Spiritual forces operate within legal frameworks, agreements, and permissions. Revoke permission, influence weakens. Replace fear with authority, access closes. As months passed, my body healed. Not instantly, gradually. Inflammation reduced, mood stabilized, clarity returned. Friends visited again and commented that my apartment felt lighter. The most powerful realization came when I understood this. Many people unknowingly give permission daily. Through repeated negative declarations, I'm always sick. Nothing ever works for me. My family is cursed. I will never succeed. Words matter. Attention matters. Curiosity into dark practices matters. Energy is real. Spiritual doors are real. But so is authority. I am not saying every illness is spiritual. That would be irresponsible. Bodies break. Stress exists. Medical science matters. But some heaviness has roots deeper than chemistry. Some fatigue is tied to fear. Some anxiety is tied to open doors. If you have ever participated in rituals you did not fully understand, manifestation practices that felt darker than hopeful, repeated anger, bitterness, or revenge-focused thinking, pause. You do not need drama. You need revocation. Say, I revoke every conscious and unconscious agreement with any force not aligned with God's will. Repeat it daily. Then cleanse. Cleanse my body, my home, my mind. Then protect. No force may influence me. Consistency matters more than intensity. Fear feeds darkness. Calm authority dismantles it. Today, I live quietly. I no longer seek power. I seek peace. My body is healthy. My sleep is normal. My home feels safe. But I will never forget what I learned. Hidden forces do not always scream. They whisper. They attach quietly. They influence subtly. And they leave when confronted firmly. If you feel heaviness that medicine cannot explain, if your home feels thick, if your thoughts feel invaded, draw a boundary, out loud. Authority spoken consistently reshapes atmosphere. I share this not to scare you, but to warn you. Power without alignment costs more than it promises. And sometimes the battle you think is physical is waiting for you to close a spiritual door you didn't realize you opened. My name is Amara Okafor from Lagos, Nigeria. I once worked with forces I did not fully understand. Now I expose them, because silence protects what harmed me. And someone out there needs to know, you are not powerless, but you must choose what you allow access to your life. Choose wisely.